Hi, I'm Kara Graver at the Cobb Studio, and I'm here to show you knitting pom-pom effects. We're going to look at two different types of pom-poms today. We have this large, fluffy, cut type you traditionally typically see on hats. And then we're also going to look at this type that's made on a fork. And you can cut those as well. There's both kinds of effects. There's the loopy kind and the fuzzy kind. And there are two methods for making them. Okay, so this is something that makes pom-poms but also makes different things. And if you're wrapping the yarn around it like this, that starts the pom-pom. But you can also do it simply by getting a piece of cardboard. This was a light cardboard box. And this one's a little bit smaller. This is about 1/2 inch. This one's about a little bit over 1 inch. And this one made this size pom-pom. And this one made this size pom-pom, just a little shorter in the hairs. So just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to show you this small one. And you just wrap it around. I'm putting my finger in there because I want to send some yarn through there later. And rather than it getting too tight, I want to have some space in there. So I'm going to wrap lots and lots of yarn around this. And then I'll trim this off and send a piece of yarn through there. I think I can shove it through with these scissors. And tie it up. Tie it as tight as you can. And put your scissors in there and trim it. Well, actually, you're not trimming it, you're just cutting it open. And this makes your pom-pom. If you want it fuller, wrap it more. And you see that they're sort of different lengths because as it gets wrapped more, some are longer than others. So you can easily just trim those off to make the length you want and cut these little ends. So that's that kind. And then this kind is brilliant. This is great for children, fun for adults as well. And you get a fork. And you first put some yarn through the middle of the fork. And then you weave on the fork. And I'm not weaving too tightly. I don't know whether it's harder for children to weave loosely or harder for them to weave tightly, but it'll work no matter what you do. And then when you think you're almost done, shove it down so that you can do more. And I guess you could use a really large fork, you know, like a meat serving fork or something like that. Some forks have longer tines than others. You could try that. All right, then trim this off and take this piece that we put in the middle of the fork, bring it up and start to tie it together. And then pull it off the fork and tighten your tie as it slips off the tines. And then tie a knot. And be careful you don't get your strings mixed up, because if you're pulling the wrong strings, you'll be unraveling it. trim these off. You might leave something to knit into the piece that you're making, but for now I'm just going to trim these off. And there it is. It's tight and compact. And you can imagine that if you cut it like we cut this one, you'd have something fuzzy. So there you have it. 2 ways to make pom-poms and tons of uses. I'm Kara Graver at the Cobb Studio, and that was Knitting Pom-Pom Effects.